Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of balance changes which you want to see with the next set of balance changes. So this is probably going to happen after the esports competition that's going on this weekend. We've got NA in South America. So there's new hyperchargers coming out next Monday. Maybe some balance changes with them, maybe in the week after that. But normally there's some mid-season changes, and I definitely expect some with the way this crazy meta is unfolding. So let's just dive into them. So a lot of these are going to be nerfs because there's a lot of problems in the meta, and I just recommend nerfing these brawlers first and foremost before we even take a look at anything else. So the first brawler is going to be Hank. Hank is absolutely dumb broken right now. He was by far the most banned and picked brawler in Brawl esports, so he needs a nerf, and he probably needs a couple. The first one, I would like to see a nerf to his hypercharge. The homing is just crazy. I don't know whether they can do that with a mid-season change, or we'll have to wait for the update in like a month's time, but we should be looking into that. The next one is that the hypercharge, it just charges too quickly. You got to take into consideration that he can get his hypercharge through taking damage, so let's nerf that as well. It takes about 2.4 supers to get, I believe. Let's nerf it to 3, maybe even like 3.5, because he can cycle loads of them throughout a game. And then, I mean, they could even remove the hypercharge charging through the tank trait as well. So he can just get his hypercharge through taking damage. I think all of those nerfs will be able to turn him down, because he was already like a C-tier brawler before this hypercharge, and now he's broke. Next up, we have Ollie. So Ollie's a top 3 brawler in the game right now. He isn't as problematic as the other two because they have a purple button win condition, but with Ollie, he's still pretty annoying, and it's mainly because his damage scaling probably was buffed too much. So they should either take his damage down from 2000 to 1900, or they should nerf his supercharge rate just a little bit, because that super combination, when you super and gadget in, I feel like you still cycle through to super too quickly. So just nerf it to 6 shots instead of 5, I believe, and should be good to go, because he's still got the tank trait which helps him charge his super. Now moving into Mr. P, we should be emergency nerfing this guy. This guy should have been nerfed a couple of weeks ago, but his hypercharge definitely needs a fix. It needs multiple nerfs. I think if they can't change it mechanically in some shape or form, so either the porter's decay, either the porter, you know, the super that you have decays as well, something needs to change about it. If they can't do that, they need to be nerfing the hypercharge rate. Right now it takes 3 supers to get. Let's make it 4 supers to get. It's one of the best inside of the game, but they need to change it mechanically if they can at all possible, because it's just so broken, spawning unlimited porters. They just travel around the map so quickly and it eats up so much of your ammo. Or they could nerf the HP of the hypercharge porters. Something needs to happen, and a couple of nerfs, because no way should porters just be able to take over the game like this. Next we have Carl's heat ejector gadget. So Carl is one of the most underrated brawlers in the meta right now, because you can spam out heat ejector every 15 seconds. It stays on the field for, I don't know, didn't time it, 4 or 5 seconds, and it also, if you connect when someone, deals plus upwards of 6,000 damage, which is insane, and you get this every 15 seconds. So let's nerf it in a couple of ways. I think nerf the damage first and foremost. It does a lot of damage, and nerfing the cooldown to around 18, maybe even 20 seconds, because it's just way too spammy. Next up we have B's Rattled Hive gadget. So this is just absolutely broken. Every 17 seconds you just spam infinite damage without even having to do anything. So of course this needs to be nerfed, and quite heavily in my opinion. This should be at least minimum 22 seconds, a big 5-second nerf, allowing, you know, gadget styles not to happen. So we want to see a nerf with Melody. So she's a big problem in pro play because of her hypercharge. It actually takes less than 3 supers to charge up her hypercharge, which is insane. So either they need to nerf it mechanically, so I don't know, maybe it takes away the fun, but so it doesn't stack with a star power and gadget because it's just too strong. Maybe you could just nerf her gadget, or definitely nerf her hypercharge rate. The fact that it takes less than 3, so it should be near enough 4 supers to charge this, because it's just ridiculously broken. So now moving on to Lou, I hope he receives maybe 1 nerf with these changes, because he's still like a top 5 brawler in the game, even with his hypercharge rate nerf. So I think he either needs a supercharge rate nerf, or they need to look at maybe his gadgets. So normally when you throw super onto someone, you freeze them 50%. This allows you to then fully freeze them with like 1 piece of ammo. Maybe make it so it frees them like 35%, 30%. So then you have to use more than 1 piece of ammo, because that's just too toxic. The next brawler that needs a nerf is Poco, and he needs a nerf to both of his gadgets. We spoke about this on our channel a couple of weeks ago. Everybody followed suit as soon as I explained just how broken this is. So the first one is his protective tunes. It only takes 11 seconds to fully cool down, and it lasts for 4 seconds of immunity. I've already explained what it counters. It counters loose supers, it counters Ollie completely, it counters so many different things. It's a big problem in the draft right now. This needs to be nerfed to 20 seconds in my opinion. Maybe not 20, maybe like 17 minimum, just because of how broken it is. The random player base, they won't think this gadget's good, but in draft it's broken. And then tuning fork as well, because it lasts for 5 seconds. I think this should be nerfed to around 20 seconds as well. Both of these gadgets are just way too strong. So we have Berry. He needs a nerf to maybe one of two things. He either needs a nerf to the amount of supercharge he gets from the healing. So again, this could be another nerf to his healing trait, or they need to nerf the amount of super that you gain from supering a teammate. You get quite a lot of supercharge. That means you can just cycle through supers like crazy and then cycle through to your hypercharge. I mean, maybe even a hypercharge rate nerf as well. Berry's been a big problem. He's been a top 10 brawler in the meta for a couple of months now, especially in pro play, and it's just too toxic. The healing meta, it just can't happen. Next we have Stu. There's a few reasons why Stu is so good in the meta. He's still a top 10 brawler. One is because of his speed zone gadget. It's only 20 seconds, and by the time it's not even fully decayed, you've got another one available, so you can just keep spamming them out. Having unlimited speeds is very toxic. And then you've got his hypercharge rate as well. It's still too fast. I can't believe it's still not got nerfed, because you can get 2 or 3 hypercharges in the game. I know they nerfed his Gas Hill, which is an indirect nerf to the hypercharge, but they need to tackle it even more. Let's nerf his hypercharge rate as well. Next we have Janet. She definitely needs a nerf for these next set of balance changes. Her hypercharge is done broken right now, and it only takes 2 supers to get, which is just absolutely bizarre. I have no idea how this wasn't nerfed in the last set of balance changes. I think mechanically this hypercharge is too strong, but for the meanwhile, you know, it should be at minimum 3.33 supers to get. That's kind of where the stronger ones are at, maybe even longer, because she cycles a lot of supers when you think about it. Minimum, it's got to be 3 supers. So next we have Meeple. I know Meeple's only just became meta, but the reason why he's meta is too toxic, so we've got to take a look at his gadgets again. Both his gadgets are too strong. If you face off against Rage Quit, it's so incredibly toxic on Brawl Hockey, for example, or Brawl Ball. Let's just nerf it maybe like 3 or 4 seconds. And the same with Mansions and Meeples. It's 20 seconds. That's one of the longest cooldowns in the game, but it's still too short. It's such a broken gadget, so let's make it around 25 seconds, because you shouldn't be able to just spam green button and win lane and win game. Next up we have Angelo, so he should receive a nerf to his gadget Master Fletcher. So I know most people will use the jump gadget, but Master Fletcher is so good in pro play. You think about it, a 4K shot through a wall every 14 seconds. How is that not broken? It's completely busted in knockout, for example. This needs to nerf to around like 20 seconds or something, because again, you can shoot 4,000 damage for a wall. It's so strong. Next we have Jean's gadget, Vengeful Spirits, so you can spam this out every 16 seconds. If you face off against Jean, especially on knockout or bounty, this is beyond toxic. I know it's only 1,600 damage, but it's confirmed damage. It homes into them, and it also stops them from regenerating health, and it allows you to push them even further back into their own spawn. It needs a nerf to at least 20 seconds, maybe even like 22 seconds. It's incredibly powerful and annoying. Still, we have Mortis, so I really want him to receive a hypercharge nerf, just because I've just seen it in the meta, especially the past few weeks, he's started to become pretty good again, because it is just a purple button meta and a green button meta, and it only takes him 2.4 supers to get. So you know Mortis, right? He could be terrible the whole game, and then he gets purple button and he just ends up team wiping with no skill whatsoever. I think mechanically they need to nerf his hypercharge. Absolutely, it's way too strong, but for now 2.4 supers is too short. Let's nerf it to at least 3 supers, maybe even 3.3. Next I want to nerf with Brock's gadget Rocket Fuel. So right now it's 15 seconds. I want to nerf this to at least 20 seconds, because you can open up the map so quickly with these gadgets. Honestly, I want every gadget to be nerfed by like 4 or 5 seconds, but I'm just going for quite a few that are toxic. Next we have Gray's gadget Walking Cane. So this definitely needs a nerf. Every 18 seconds you can just spam this Walking Cane, which a lot of the time it's a free kill, especially on brawlers around like 6k HP, because you can just Walking Cane them and then 2-tap them. It's too strong, especially in knockout and bounty, where especially in knockout in 1 round you can get like 4 Walking Canes in a round. It's stupid. Let's nerf this to at least 23 seconds. So we have Rosa's gadget Grow Light. So I know what you're thinking straight away. Rosa isn't anywhere near the meta, and she's not, but still the off chance where you can just abuse the strategy, it's way too cheesy. We don't want the map to turn into Cabin Jam whatsoever. 10 seconds, it's too toxic. It is ridiculous. Let's nerf it to like 14 seconds or something like that. Next we have Mandy. So I want to nerf with her hypercharge rate, because it only takes 2.5 supers to get, which is 10 shots. That is just way too short, especially if you hit someone with your first or even second super. And it's very powerful, especially with a 25% damage boost. So they could definitely nerf this to about 3.3 supers, because you still get this quite often in knockout and bounty. And they should probably nerf the damage in the stats as well. 25% is just crazy. Let's just nerf it to 20%, maybe even 15%, so we're not just getting automatic team wipes. And the final nerf I want to see is with Squeak's wind up gadget. So right now it's every 11 seconds. You guys know from my streams, I love this gadget because you just spam it out like crazy, but it is too strong. The amount of damage that you can get with this is insane. So let's just nerf it to around 15 seconds or something like that. Okay, so finally we're going to be moving on to the buffs. So I don't really want a lot of buffs in these set of balance changes, maybe because there's so much wrong with the meta. Let's focus on as many nerfs as possible, but there's a couple of buffs that we can sneak in for sure without having to completely change them. You know, for example, I'm not going to talk about Doug, Bonnie, all of these brawlers stuck at the F tier because they need reworks or hypercharges in the future. So starting off with Finks. Finks is absolutely terrible right now. I've not seen him a pro player whatsoever. He's awful. I thought he'd be really strong because I thought the way that his projectiles worked, especially 1,800 damage, like you could deal 2.7k. I thought you could deal that consistently, but you can't. So there's a couple of ways that you could buff him. It's either damage or reload speed. I think that's the biggest thing that needs to change. It shouldn't do anything with his supercharge rate or anything like that because that can be very toxic. So let's just buff either his damage or his reload speed so he's able to provide more consistent damage. Next up, we want to buff Mo. So Mo is completely fallen off. An absolute F-tier brawler in the meta. His win rate is shambolic, to say the least. So he needs at least one of his previous nerfs reverting, maybe even two. I don't think he'll be a strong brawler until he receives a hypercharge. His reload speed is very slow, and also his damage is very pitiful. So I think either buffing his damage or reload speed is the way to go. Next up, we have Bo. So Bo, I thought was going to make a bigger impact in the meta personally with his hypercharge, and it's not really done anything whatsoever. He wasn't picked at all in monthly finals, so I think they need to buff one or two things. They could buff his hypercharge rate, which I don't really want to see too much in the game right now. If anything, we should be nerfing a lot of these. One thing I would like to change is just maybe his supercharge rate. I know theoretically that buffs his hypercharge rate, but yeah, let's buff his supercharge rate a little bit so he's able to cycle mines a bit more consistently and at least be a bit more of a threat. So next we want to buff Tara. So I know what you're thinking. Probably for the most players, Tara is a decent brawler, but in pro play, she hasn't been used for months and months. Even with the gadget change, her gadget isn't strong anymore. It's not good at countering any brawler. So let's probably buff her HP, I would say. We don't need to touch her super, her damage or anything like that. I think it's the HP. It's not allowing her to fight more. So let's just buff it by like 400 maybe and see where she lands. And lastly on the buff list, I want to buff Jessie. So again, she's a noob stomper, which is good for the majority of the player base. But at pro play, Jessie has not been seen in months. And that's probably because her hypercharge just flat outright sucks. It's just Jessie turret with more HP and a bit more damage. So I think in the future they probably need to buff her hypercharge a little bit, but for now I think buffing her HP again to like 6.4k just allows her a bit more survivability. I don't think they should be touching her damage or anything like that. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, there could be a ton more buffs, but I think for this meta, with how problematic it is with all the gadget changes, with hypercharges, with broken brawlers, they need to be nerfing quite a lot of these gadgets and brawlers for the meta to even be safe right now. That's why I don't see a lot of people really playing Brawl Stars right now. Is it the meta? Is it the content? I don't know. I'm getting sick of this meta personally. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.